Hello to day 31 and the single finished mini for today. I fixed this worm. You know, yesterday his wings broke off. I pinned them and it turned out to be less of a hassle than I had feared, because the good thing about these old minis is, I think I mentioned this before, the high lead content is actually good. I believe I went on a rant about why did they change that formula. I'm not gonna repeat that, but I want to point out one reason that high lead alloy is good for the modeler is that it's easier to work with. It's softer, meaning it was much easier to drill into and pin and fix. So now there's a pin all the way through this wing piece and pretty far into the body, so it should be sturdy as heck. Now I went with I tried to keep the scales kind of shiny. I kept the gloss varnish on that, went with satin on the wings and matte on the base. I think I kept the gloss on the, I suppose this is some sort of spittle or saliva running from his chin. It looked sculpted. I thought it wasn't just a piece of metal that should be cut off, so I let it stay. And yeah, I think it turned out fine. Let's see what's in the works. There's a little bit of paint of these guys, not very much, mostly with metallics. I've had a lazy day. Well, not lazy. Lazy as in painting, not painting much, but I've done a lot of other good stuff, mainly reading and thinking and prepping for my next role-playing campaign. And that's always a useful thing to do, I would argue. There's also been some more prep on these guys. Most of these have had some basing grit applied to their bases, which I now need to put a second coat of glue on and let it dry. I've been over my process for basing before. I don't need to explain to you guys again. Now this dude is lagging a bit behind the others, and he's gonna get the first layer of grit today. I had to do quite a lot of green stuffing to make this fit, and I had to carve and file and scrape a lot to put these pieces together. It's almost like there were two different sculptors on the two halves of this model, and they couldn't agree on how it should fit together. But I did it eventually, and hopefully once there's some primer and some paint on there, you won't notice the seams that much. And again, the softer material made it at least endurable to do this work. It would have been pretty hopeless with newer hard pewter metals. And the question for day 31 is, congratulations. Well, I can't really accept that because I didn't actually finish. Maybe I would have finished if I hadn't added those extra, the skink pterodon riders. They took some extra time from the original planning for the project. Perhaps I could have been finished by now if I hadn't done those. So let that be a lesson. Don't change stuff midstream. But again, it's not a big deal. Because I bit off such a huge chunk of food. I'm not sure about the metaphor there, but it was always kind of touch and go if I would make it in 31 days. And I'm okay with taking a few days extra to finish off. So it was not a glorious race to the finish because I didn't finish completely. It was not a complete and utter failure because I got a whole lot done. Do you feel like you were sufficiently challenged? Yes, absolutely. There was a huge challenge. Did you breeze through the entire month without feeling challenged at all? No, certainly not. But as I think I've mentioned before, I'm not going to do anything quite this ambitious again. So, in the coming days, I will not have these questions for the wrap up. So I'll have to think of something else to close out each episode. Join me tomorrow to see what I come up with. Bye for now.